Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a weekend review reviewing this weekend's Premier League and Championship action. Let's get straight into what with Saturday's Premier League action, starting off with a thrashing at St James's Park, where Newcastle absolutely demolished Bournemouth 5-1, and what a seriously impressive performance this was from the team. I don't think it necessarily reflected the overall score. I don't think Brentford were that bad, but saw a massively impressive result for Newcastle. They're absolutely flying at the moment. Brentford, it's just about to still need to get over this quickly. But anyway, it was another fashion, but kind of a more expected one, as Man City easily dismantled Southampton 4-0. Surprisingly, Haaland only got one. He did hit the post, but he only got one. Camaro, Foden, Mahrez, and the big man Haaland with the goals. And as you might expect, City absolutely dominated the game. For them, a comfortable win in a game you expect them to win comfortably. For Southampton, another loss, and questions go on about Hassan's future. To be honest, I would say maybe just pull the trigger now, to be honest. And anyway, then it was time for Chelsea 3, Wolves 0, to be honest. Kai Havertz, Christian Pulisic, and Brozier. I don't know if that's his first goal for Chelsea or not, seems like it might be. So great moment for him. Chelsea, dominant victory here. Wolves, you kind of feel like they need to get a manager in as soon as possible. Lopetegui would be a good appointment, they just need to get him in as soon as possible because they need a manager and they're really struggling at the moment. But anyway, then it was on to Bournemouth 2, Leicester 1 at the Vitality. Daka with a goal in the 10th minute before Billing and Christie with a quick fire double for Bournemouth, saw them go out in front. Bournemouth in the end held out well. Leicester though, that defence coming undone again, such a disappointing result. Gary O'Neill, another really, really impressive result for him. He's got to be the favourite now to take the permanent position with the job he's doing, you'd say. But for Leicester, so disappointing after recovering so well last week to have it all undone like this again. But moving on then to Brighton 0, Tottenham 1. The only goal of the game scored halfway through the first half with Harry Kane scoring. In the end, there wasn't a game that's separating a lot of people. I think Brighton will be frustrated not to come away with anything. But I think it's still positive. At least they're competitive in all of these games and a deserving still. For Tottenham, a win is a win. Really impressive win against a side that's been so solid so far this season. So they'll be absolutely delighted with this one, you think. But moving on then to West Ham 3, Fulham 1 at London Stadium. Pereira gave Fulham lead in the 5th minute, and they held on to it for about 25 minutes when Jared Bowen equalised from the spot. Skamaka then scored in the 62nd minute, and Antonio completed in the 91st minute with a goal for West Ham. And West Ham really starting to pick up some momentum now after a tough start to the season. What's that? 3 wins now in all comps, 4 from 5. They'll be delighted with that. Starting to pull away. For Fulham, disappointing though. Kind of need to arrest this slide really. Moving on then to Palace 2, Leeds 1 at Selhurst Park. Palace really struggled in the opening phases here, and they were punished for a streak scored in the 10th minute, but they grew into the game. Osman Edouard in the 24th minute because of goal after a cross from Michael Lee, so lovely goal. And Eze in the 76th minute got the winner. Palace, you'd say on the whole a draw maybe with a fair result. Palace kind of grew into it, like I said. Leeds will be frustrated to mess up a leading position against a team that's been struggling, but for Palace in the context of the season that could be a big win for them. But moving on then to Arsenal 3, Leeds 2 at the Emirates. Martinelli got the dream start for Arsenal, putting them in front after 58 seconds. Nunes in the 34th minute equalised, but Saka right on the stroke of half time. Poor defending, you'd have to say. Firmino then scored again in the 53rd minute, and Saka from the spot in the 76th minute gave Arsenal the victory. A game that wasn't much between them, but you'd say Arsenal deserving the victory. Liverpool kind of all at sea, just don't look at the same team. But for Arsenal, that's a statement victory. You feel like it could be a big one. Moving on then to Everton 1, Manchester United 2 at Goodison Park. Everton took an early lead for a lovely shot from Iwobi before Anthony and Ronaldo getting his 700th league goal, I think, or goal for a club or whatever. Just incredible numbers. Scored. United also had a goal disallowed due to handball in the second half. But United deserving the victory here. Big win for Ten Hag coming back from behind. United really are going strong at the moment. For Everton, though, disappointing to lose the lead. Moving on then to Forest 1, Villa 1 at to City Ground on Monday night. Obviously been a bit of a weird week at Forest, but they got off to a good start in the 15th minute through Dennis. But Ashley Young with a lovely goal in the 22nd minute equalised things up. And yeah, on the whole, wasn't a lot separated the two sides. Maybe say Villa just about edged it. But yeah, I'd say a draw was probably the fair result. For Forest, good to get some points on the board, but they really like for in a game like this. I think both teams scored a seems winnable, so maybe slightly disappointed to be honest. But moving on then to QPR versus Reading on Friday night in the Championship now. Reading took the lead after kind of a slow start through Andy Carroll from the penalty spot in the 30th minute, but just 3 minutes later Lyndon Dykes equalised. Looked like it was heading to a draw, but no, a penalty in the 84th minute from Dykes again sealed the win for QPR. And yeah, I'd say on reflection of the game, Reading huffed and puffed, but in the end QPR probably deserving winners. It's a big win for them, takes them joint top. For Reading, no, disappointing result, but still punching high above expectations really. But moving on then to Saturday's Championship action, and it finished Wigan 1, Cardiff 3 at the DW Stadium. Robinson Ojo gave Cardiff a 2-0 lead before Wyke in the 83rd minute scored for Wigan. Lovely to see him score after all the issues he's had. And Winter in the 91st minute got the win seal for Cardiff. And yeah, a game that Cardiff you'd say probably just about edged and deserving of the victory. Big win for them. And with all the uncertainty of the managerial position, yeah, it's a big win. Wigan know they need to sort out their home form. Moving on then to Swansea 2, Sunderland 1 at the Liberty. Cooper and Darling with the goals for Swansea in the first half. Clark pulled one back after half time in the 51st minute. But in the end it wasn't enough. I'd maybe say in this game Swansea just about deserving winners. Big win for them. They're now absolutely flying under Russ Martin after a tough start. Up into 6th now. Just 3 points off top incredibly after such a slow start. For Sunderland though, just needs to find a bit of form they had before the international break back really, don't they? But moving on then to West Brom 0, Luton 0. A game with not too much excitement in, you'd have to say. Draw probably the fair result there. But yeah, what can you say about this one really? Steve Bruce has been sacked. Was it the worst performance of the season for them? No. But yeah, with the start of the season they've had, it's an understandable move really, you'd have to say, and about the right time really. Don't think they'll go down or anything like that. But maybe is it too late to a playoff push? Potentially. But for Luton, probably disappointing not to get the win with the form West Brom are in, to be honest. But moving on then to Stoke 3, Sheffield United 1 at the Bet365 Stadium. Wilmots gave Stoke the lead in the 4th minute before Brewster equalised for the Blades. But Jagielka right on the stroke of half time gave Stoke the lead. And Dillap in the 91st minute gave Stoke the victory. And yes, Stoke, on player reflection, you say a win is a big result. Sheffield United though, after 2 defeats in the draft going on, Stoke great they need to get some results soon just to pick up again. But moving on then to another shock defeat for a promotion chasing side. Norwich 2, Preston 3. Sargent gave Norwich lead in the 2nd minute before Reese in the 25th minute scored for Preston, and then he scored it in the 51st minute to give Preston lead. Norwich equalised in the 76th minute before Troy Parrott in the 80th minute gave Preston the winner. And for Preston, the side we've been so used to little goals, we got some action here, and what a bloody great win that is for them. Norwich though be frustrated because they had lots more of the game, you'd say. But moving on then to Millwall 2, Borough 0 at the New Den, and flying and with both goals really in the 5th and the 49th minute, and big win for Millwall. I thought maybe while gone Borough would have a slow outturn form, but it didn't quite work out in this game. But big win for Gary Rowett, almost showing that it's maybe best to stick with your manager, who knows. But Millwall definitely deserving of the win here. Big win for them, and seeing them shoot up the table. But moving on then to Coventry 0, Burnley 1 at the Ricoh Arena, and Teller with the only goal of the game in the 39th minute. A big win for Burnley, because recently they've had this habit of going into leads and not holding on to them, but they held on to it here for them, thank God. And Coventry just weren't great here, didn't offer a shot on target, and still struggling. I wonder if they're still feeling the effects of having all of those games called off. But for Burnley, it's a big win, and like I see, sees them shoot up the table. But moving on then to Bloomfield Road, and the big win for Blackpool as they defeated Watford 3-1. Medina in the 10th minute gave them the lead before Lazar in the 29th minute saw it go 1-1 at half time, but Yates with 2 goals in the final 10 minute gave Blackpool the win, and on the whole I'd say Blackpool were deserving of the victory over a Watford side, and now lost 2 out of 3 under Slaven Bilic, and it's almost like you shouldn't have pulled the trigger too early on Rob Edwards, isn't it? How long Slaven Bilic got left off 2 defeats, you genuinely wonder, don't you? But yeah, for Blackpool, a big win for them because they've been struggling recently. But moving on then to Blackburn 3, Rotherham 0 at Ewood Park, and Ben Burton Diaz with 2 goals either side of half time, and Smolsnicks with the other goal. And for Blackburn, win, lose seems to be the way. A big result for them, and they dominated the game here, fully deserving of their 3 points. Rotherham, though, quite poor, still probably going to take a bit of a while to adapt to life under Paul Warne, you feel. But sitting in 17th after such a great start, I think they will be somewhat disappointed with that, to be honest. But moving on then to Birmingham 3, Birmingham 3, Bristol City 0, at St Andrews. Trusty with 2 goals in the first half, and Sanderson with the other one in the 75th minute. Good win for Birmingham, wasn't it here? Dominated the game and were fully deserving the victory. Bristol City didn't offer much, and once again it's another concerning result for Bristol City because like Rotherham, they had a great start and now seem to be toiling down the table pretty rapidly, you'd have to say. Moving on then to Huddersfield 2, Hull 0 at the John Smith Stadium. Coyle with an own goal in the 29th minute, and Hellick in the 51st minute gave Huddersfield the victory. Good win for Huddersfield. Maybe not had all of the game, but had enough to deserve the victory, and it's a big win for them. Under Fothering, release a bit of pressure on them, getting their first win, and hopefully they can kick on now. But for Hull, I think it kind of highlighted the importance they need a proper first team manager in soon, not an interim manager, really. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, don't thoughts, comments, down below, follow this Instagram for daily football news, and subscribe to our channel, and would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.